Hola. Hola, chicos.
Good morning. My neighbor is Lina, and she comes from Tomsk, and she is a fourth-year student of regional studies.
Hello everybody, and this is Sebastjan. He's the first year of the PhD and he studies anthropology. And today we will tell you about Zachёt Sessia, what these words mean and what to do during these periods. As I'm graduating this year, I would like to help all the foreign students who have just applied for the university, who are the first, the second year students, and who don't know much about Zachёt Sessia, all of these new words, new terms, so that you can pass all of your exams with flying colors.
So Lina, what is a Zachёt? What does it mean?
Basically, it's a form of exam or a credit in the end of December or May. It's that kind of exam in which you don't get a mark, you are either approved or non-approved. So basically you just need to attend most of the classes, something like 90% of them, do all the tasks, and you will get a credit. It's nice.
So as a foreign student who is on a PhD, or aspirantura as it is called in Russian, this is my experience. So we also have something similar to Zachёty for each course. And again, as Lina said, you don't get any grades, you don't get any percents, but you get something of a pass or not pass, so zachtonie or not zachtonie. And it means that then you can continue going to the actual exam, which is at the end of semester. And this is then during sessia.
So Sebastjan, do you have any tips how to pass this sessia, how to pass all the exams in Zachёty?
So my tip for Zachёty is to attend classes and to do these little homeworks on time. So sometimes your lecturer or your professor will give you some little tasks, little homework. For example, 1 page or 2 pages of some text that you have to write. And then you have to upload this usually on Moodle, so it's just like online platform. And then if you do all this diligently, then you get a positive Zachёt, and then you can continue going to actually sessia, so you're allowed then to take that big exam. My tip for a bigger exam, which is at the end of semester, is well to read from the reading list that your professor, for example, gives you, and usually you always get some preliminary potential questions. So you already get a picture of what to expect. And do please check these questions, how deep they are or how wide they are, and prepare. So this is sort of my tip. Just follow what your lecturer, your professor wants from you. Okay, so Lina, you probably had a lot of sessi behind you since you are finishing your fourth year. So what is a sessia?
Well, I would say it's just an exam period, and as a fourth year student, I've had 8 sessia, which is kind of impressive, and they usually start in January or in June. It depends on each faculty, and if you want to know when your sessia starts, it's better to contact to your institution, and you will get all the information. Basically, you will have from 2 till 5 exams, which will last for a few hours, and usually you have around a month to prepare, let's be honest. And in case of having some troubles with the material, if you have any questions, if there is a question list in which you have some issues, you don't understand what you should prepare, what topics you are going to describe, you can always ask your teacher, your professor, to give you something like an extra class in which the teacher, the professor will explain everything so that you can pass the exam in a better way.
So Lina, what about scores which you get in sessia?
You always get a mark. It can be excellent, good, satisfactory, or sometimes not satisfactory, which is possible to retake. It's always possible to retake an exam if something goes wrong. As for the rest of marks, it always depends on the requirements of each professor. So at the beginning of a course, of any course, a professor is expected to tell you what he or she wants from you during the course and during the exam.
So when do you know that you have finished everything successfully and that you can, for example, go for summer holidays?
Usually it's the day of your last exam. When the teacher gives you the mark, you understand that you are done, you can go to Baikal, you can come back to your country, you can go traveling, it doesn't really matter. And usually the last day of the exam, all the teachers want to go on vacation, so they give you the mark as soon as possible.
And where do you see the mark? Where do you receive it?
It can be on Moodle if it's online, or if it's this traditional form of examination, the teacher will just give you the mark. Like, you have passed the exam, just give me your Zachёtka and I will write it down, and then you will see this mark in Moodle. It would be the same.
So, do you mind sharing us your tips for successful studying?
Well, my main tip is to be active, always be active, even if you don't understand what the course is about, even though you are not good at this particular subject. For example, if you are not good at philosophy, try to speak, try to make the teacher realize that at least you are trying to understand it, so that he or she will remember you. It's a good tip. And if it's some sort of zachot, it's a great way to success, to get a pass and keep on studying something else, or reading some philosophy books if you are into. As for exams, it's always a nice point if you make yourself visible to a teacher. Really try it. Even if you don't speak Russian, you should somehow make your professor realize that you're making some baby steps towards your big goal.
I know you have a lot of foreign friends as well. What do you think works best for them in achieving a good result in the exams, as well as learning something?
I guess the best solution for all the students who don't speak Russian well enough is to prepare all the materials before the class, so that you can read all the necessary information first in your language and then try to translate it in Russian. Then it's always possible to ask for some PPTs from your professor or some information what the lecture is going to be about, and then you are more or less prepared to listen to almost the same information in Russian. Even though your level may be not as high as possible, you will at least catch something. And by showing your small attempts to understand what's happening, your desire to learn something new, it will always be a good benefit.
So we hope that this small tutorial somehow helped you understanding the meaning of Zachёt and Sessia.
And we wish you good luck on your all exams. If you have any questions, you can contact us. And this video always has a link to all the people who may help you. Good luck, don't worry, all the exams won't be as difficult as you think, and if something happens, it's not the worst day of your life.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye. Now you have to say my name. Okay, let's do it again.